And we're back. Welcome back to the Give It Gas podcast. We're continuing to roll on. I'm excited to be here. In all honesty, Matthew and I worked straight through the weekend, so I have not had a day off. I thought I was tired when I woke up this morning. The dogs got me up at 5 a.m. Megan said she was tired, so I did the husbandly thing, and I got up at 5 a.m. and I'm like, I'm struggling, but I'm feeling good now. So I'm happy to be here. I'm happy you guys who are listening are here listening. I'm happy for those that you are watching. Thanks for watching. We're getting views here and there. We got subscribers that we don't personally know, which is kind of cool. So appreciate you guys. We also got our first dislikes, which is a big deal to me.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Tell us about it.
Obviously, I said something that somebody disagreed with, which I want. Like, I really want discourse over time. So they didn't comment, you little scaredy cats. Like, they probably just read the headline and disliked it. Like, I wish you would have. But it was on the Dogecoin one, right? And it was... It was one that was first a little bit controversial. Like a controversial issue.
Yeah. So people are going to like it. They're going to hate it.
But I still stand by what I said. We put this also, I need to say this, we put disclaimers in all the descriptions, but for you guys that don't watch on YouTube, it's also in the descriptions, I think, on all the podcast channels. But like, we're not an accountant, we're not a financial advisor, we're not a lawyer. It stays to say these are just our opinions on things. We're not telling you what to do. Go get advice from a licensed individual. Okay, with that also said, I'm going to claim when I'm wrong, just so people trust me. I was wrong on the percentage of the last podcast on small business owners and how many they employ.
Yeah.
To a degree.
Slightly.
I was wrong because you put the overlays in there, right? Did you put the second overlay in there? I haven't had a chance to watch it, or
I think
about like the 60% one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was wrong in the sense of how many like small businesses maintain employees. It's not as high as I thought, but small businesses do. It was like 60-something%, right? Create 60-something% of the jobs in America. So I still stand by that as well. So today's podcast, since I obviously upset two individuals that actually were on YouTube, were able to, there were maybe people listening on the podcast that were like, I disagree as well. So for anyone who disagrees with me and they're YOLOing into Bitcoin, Dogecoin, GameStop, all that stuff right now, I'm here to remind you, and this is with the disclaimer, but I don't think we have to do about that. This is just a reminder, don't forget about capital gains at the end of the year. Taxes. The government will always get their taxes. A little spin-off story real quick because it was actually enjoyable. There's this kid on TikTok who's like a younger Gen Zer. I think Gen Z is like the probably 16 and under, right?
Gen Z is my age.
Okay, so what's like 16 and under? Is it still Gen Z? Are you like in that?
I think it was 96 and up.
Okay, anyways, so there's this kid, and he's famous on TikTok for going and talking to his dad and letting his dad like rant or vent or whatever. And he went to his dad one day, and the dad was talking about, like, he's like, let's talk about taxes. And the dad just went on this rant. And the way he did it, and I'm gonna short step it real quick. Maybe we can go find that TikTok and like you can put a link to it or something. I don't know. But the dad was like, so you get paid, right? Your income gets, there's an ant on the wall. There's an ant on the wall. Goodness gracious. Okay, sorry, that was a huge distraction. You get paid, and the government goes, thank you for your hard work. We're going to take some income taxes out of it, right? So you get your taxes. You now have money in your hands, right? And you take that money, and you go, okay, well, I'm going to be wise with my money. I'm going to go invest it. Do the right thing. I don't need to rely on the government. I'm going to go invest it, build my little nest egg. Well, you invest it. And let's say you had made $1,000 and you now, or like you had $1,000 after your income, and you go invest it, and now you have like $2,000. And the government goes, we're so proud of you. We're thankful for you for being smart with your money, but we're going to tax you again on that extra $1,000 that you made because, well, you made it. And you go, well, that's really atrocious, but okay, it is what it is. move on. All right, so I've both paid my income taxes and I paid my capital gains taxes. I've paid my dues. So I have all this extra money. Let's say you've done this multiple times. And this is the story that the dad was saying, but it was great. I'm gonna go buy myself a truck, right? I've done the right thing. I'm gonna go buy myself a truck. Walk into the dealership, you find a truck, you agree on the price, you go to pay, and the government steps back in and they go, whoa, whoa, whoa. You also need to pay sales tax on this truck. So that dollar has been taxed 3 times now, and you go, are you kidding me? Okay, fine. And you pay sales tax on the truck. And you drive home. You stop in, you gotta get some diesel, right? You go in, and guess what? You're paying tax on that gas that you're putting into your truck. So there's taxes everywhere, is what we're saying. Ultimately, at the end of the day, that's the topic of the day. There's taxes everywhere. We're mostly just talking about capital gains tax. So, Travis, what are capital gains tax? For those of you that are YOLOing but haven't really had to deal with selling off investments before, you have 2 different things. You have short-term capital gains, you have long-term capital gains. What stands between the 2 is 1 year. So at 1 year, anything that you hold for over a year as an investment, it could be stocks, bonds. The government right now, the IRS, views Bitcoin as a holding, not like as an asset. It doesn't view it as a currency, so it is getting taxed. So anything over a year, you're taxed at long-term capital gains. Anything under a year, you're taxed at short-term capital gains. So what does that mean? Everything on top of your regular income, you're also still going to have to pay taxes on whatever you made. So let's say you put $10,000 because you had extra into Bitcoin, whenever, or Dogecoin, because that's the one that was skyrocketing right now, or whatever, and you made $100,000, right? Before you go put that down payment on the Lamborghini, realize that you're going to have to pay taxes on that $90,000 profit that you made. And I'm concerned, I think a lot of people actually are concerned that are like in the finance world and the business world, that a lot of these kids aren't thinking about that. They're just going and blowing money right now. So I hope they are. But this channel is for the people doing that, but also this is just good for anyone in this world because we're having to face it right now on our house. So on real estate, and there's probably people listening to this or will at some point that are doing real estate, you have to pay capital gains tax as well. Mm-hmm. So anything you hold less than a year, you pay short-term capital gains. Anything you hold more than a year, you pay long-term capital gains. There are some differences, which we're unfortunately not going to hit in our house. Like a single individual can defer like $250,000 in profit, and a married couple can defer $500,000 in profit if that house is your primary residence for at least 2 years over the course of 5 years. It doesn't have to be consecutive and all that. But Megan and I have held this house for less than 2 years, so we're gonna get hit with capital gains. And I told her about that. She was like, "Are you kidding?" I said, "No, unfortunately." But thankfully, I have multiple businesses that hopefully I can wash everything out at the end of the year. I have an accountant. I don't know how to do this. I'm gonna go to my accountant and be like, "How do we do this?" I don't want to pay it. So let's talk about the percentages really quickly so you guys can do some quick math. Don't hold me to this. I'm not an advisor. I'm not an accountant. Go talk to your accountant to see what taxes you're actually going to have to pay and all that, because I don't know your whole financial situation. I just know what the IRS is going to want on the capital gains. So short-term capital gains. I got my phone for this one. I'm not speaking out of my air. So short-term capital gains, anything under holdings of 1 year. Everyone day trading right now, and if you're moving in and out of Bitcoin or Doge or whatever every few days, you're technically considered a day trader. They mark the holding of an asset from the day after you buy it to the day, like the close of day that you sell it, essentially. So if you don't hold that thing for 1 full year, you're technically considered short-term capital gains. Short-term capital gains is taxed at your actual income tax bracket. That means, I don't know the exact tax brackets at the moment. I had the IRS up, but they were only talking about long-term capital gains. But you know your tax bracket. I would imagine the average person falls in like that 20% range. Mm-hmm. So like on that 90 grand that you made, you're going to pay 20% on taxes. So for short, easy stuff, let's say you made 110 grand, you put 10 grand in, you had 100 grand, and you're going to pay 20 grand in taxes, give or take. If you're in that, whatever your tax bracket is. If you're decently making money too, and you're in higher tax brackets, like that could be up to 30%. It's insane. So keep track of that. And then let's talk about long-term real quick. Long-term capital gains is anywhere between 0, 15, and 20%. I went to Investopedia. I was on IRS, but they kind of made, I think they had a typo in there, but anyone that has an income of more than $80,000 up to about $441,000, which is probably going to be the average person listening to this podcast right now. Investopedia said it's actually $80,000 if you're married filing jointly, and single people it's $40,000, like anything over $40,000. And I've seen that in multiple places. So I think the IRS is just, they had a typo somewhere, they're missing it. So I really think if it's a single person, it's anything over an income of $40,000. If you hold that asset for more than a year, then you get long-term capital gains. But anything over your income, if your income is over $40,000, it's going to be 15%. So on that 100 grand you make, you're still going to have to hold back 15%, or 15 grand. But that's for the people really holding real estate or like long-term stocks and stuff. Don't forget about capital gains. But the average individual that's holding long-term like that already knows about capital gains tax. Except for maybe real estate, everyone's selling right now. My wife didn't know about capital gains, right? So for those of you that are selling right now because the market's so high, don't forget you're going to have to pay taxes unless you've lived in that house for over 2 years as a primary residence. And there's like all kinds of different dividends to this, but yeah, for all you YOLOing people right now who disliked what I said about how you shouldn't be YOLOing your money into all this different crypto, don't forget about your capital gains, you individuals. I'm not going to say any mean things. It's not. People can do what they want with their money. People would call me crazy for not getting in it right now when I have the extra cash to do it. But don't forget about your capital gains. There's only, we just looked it up for another reason, like 34 weeks left in the year.
Yeah.
It's going to creep up on you fast. And then Uncle Sam's going to come knocking and say, where's my money? And if you don't have a way to write it off in other places, you're going to have to pay up. And they don't give a crap if you have the money or not. They will collect. So, any news outside of that? One of our reels like absolutely exploded yesterday.
Yesterday?
Yeah. Because I get alerts on my watch or something. Yeah, you run around I was running around like a crazy person, but I get alerts on my watch.
As soon as I got home, I put my phone face down. I was like, that's
I'm
it
done.
for my phone. I did last night before I went to bed. I got on it and just happened to pull down my notification bar, and I was like,
so thankful for that. I bring this up because we're trying to be transparent with what's working for us at the moment. You've been posting reels and posts every single day.
And normal posts every day. I've been trying to do the stories every day, but sometimes that just happens to get away from me.
Yeah.
But we try to do all of that. So
we're getting a lot of interaction on the post, but it's still not converting to followers as much, right?
Not as much, but I mean, we get some here and there.
Here and there.
Yeah.
What I'm really rolling the dice on is that people will just continue to see our name over and over again, more than anything.
Yeah.
Right. So hopefully we become like more of a trusted brand in the marketplace, because when people see that for an actual ad that pops up on Google or something along those lines, they're like, oh, I know that. Like, I've seen that brand. It's not a new brand. So
yeah.
Reels are working really well for us right now. And I say that because yesterday, like, my phone alerted me. It's like, your reel, I forget which page it was on, but it's like, your reel has gotten 500 views. And then like a minute later, it was another notification, your reel has more than 1,000 views. I'm like, that happened really, really fast. So I don't know how these like
the right hashtags
super
and like that.
I don't know how these super famous like social influencers that like have hundreds of thousands of followers and they post something and they get thousands of likes, how did their phone not just like melt in their hands? You'd have to turn off the notifications.
Yeah, they probably have to turn off the notifications.
Otherwise it's just like
that's
ding,
what I'm gonna end up doing
ding,
at some
ding,
point.
Ding. Not yet, we're not there. We still get DMs. And I think we're gonna turn on ads here soon as well, so that'll be interesting. We'll keep you guys on track with that.
Yep.
That'll be with Searchalytics, and Win Local, our local advertising company.
Mail out, not Give It Gas. Give It Gas isn't
yeah,
there
not
yet.
Give It Gas. But it'll be Mail Out and Shalo-tek.
Yeah.
Actually, I was talking with Matthew. We're gonna start doing that on the wallets, which one of those videos is coming out soon. And then we got a bunch of stuff happening over the next month. So for those of you listening to the podcast, we also have like our regular after hour stuff where we have fun to a degree. Or just like, even in after hours, we still show what's going on around the business world too. So it's like some fun, but also like what's actually happening day-to-day stuff, not just like facts and random things hitting you. Like we have a wallet thing coming out soon, but we're going to get to the range here.
We're going today.
Yeah, that's the hope. If everything goes as planned, we're going to go today. That video will come out on Friday. We'll show you the range. That'll be our first like firearm video.
Yeah, it's like we need a little bit more diversity in our videos.
Yeah, well, I mean, right now we're figuring out who we are.
Yeah.
So, and that's what all you guys are kind of doing right now. We're all trying to figure out like where we are. But I'd rather post some things and stay kind of on track, and stay on track both with content uploads, but we're still in our niche. We're just trying to figure out what our voice is, right? And you don't do that unless you upload. So those of you like waiting to launch till everything's perfect, we talked about this before, just jump. That's what we're doing. So we got a lot of stuff coming. Keep hanging in there with us. We have a meeting on Wednesday with the ad company, and we'll be able to discuss all kinds of things to grow the businesses, and we'll fill you in on that about what we're going to do. And then hopefully we'll get Brian on as well. He already said he was interested. We'll see if he's still interested getting on, and he'll be able to bring so much knowledge to the table on ads and Google search and SEO and all that. And hopefully we can start dropping some hardcore knowledge on that side of things and e-com. He helped build up a massive company.
Let's just try to get him on next week.
Yeah,
Let's
no, that's
try
my
to do
goal.
that.
I just need to talk to him.
Yeah.
And see what my schedule is. So, and you got,
I'll come to the meeting tomorrow with like the layout, times, and
that works. Also,
pick one that works for you.
I was thinking filming the meeting tomorrow too, to a degree.
We could
Get a little like Gary Vaynerchuk style going on, like filming the meeting. I thought about that. I'm gonna see if they're okay with us bringing a camera in. If they are, I think that'd be kind of cool.
giving away all their business secrets.
It's not secrets. I mean, it really is just understanding, right? I like if you're willing to put in the work and understand how it all works, anyone can do it. We don't have the time, so that's why we're hiring them, because they're really good at what they do. Anywho, been working a lot. I have a lot on the line. We have a lot of finances on the line at the moment. Got a lot of time. I haven't had a day off since last Sunday, and we're gonna roll through to this Sunday, and hopefully I'll have Sunday off to a degree. We have something big coming, but that's still a little bit more fun. So hang in there with us, guys. I mean, you already are, so I appreciate you continuing to hang in there with us, and we will catch you on the next one. See ya.
Peace.